Hi, I'm Jamie, and today I'm going to show you how to install your new Ride Industries graphic kit. Okay, a couple of quick little things that you need to put together to do this graphic kit install. You want yourself a razor blade. You're gonna need a heat gun, and most importantly, some either brake cleaner, contact cleaner, lacquer thinners will also do, and a couple of clean rags. Next, we're gonna take our graphics. I like to lay them out, then I'll pre-cut them into sections, just so that I can go from section to section on the bike and make my install super easy. Okay, so now that we've got our graphics all cut out into our sections, we want to go over the most important part of installing your Ride Industries graphic kit. Okay, so just because you have brand new plastics, it does not mean that your graphics kit is ready to apply. First thing we want to do is go over this with our brake clean or lacquer thinners if you don't have brake clean. Nice clean rag, wipe it all down to get rid of any contaminants. Okay, so now that you've meticulously cleaned your bike in preparation for your graphics, we're ready to install. It's always a good idea to start with the flattest surfaces just so you can get a feel of what it's like applying these graphics. So what you want to do is peel your graphic off, line it up center. So there we go, that's a nice placement there. Everything looks clean. So I'm going to just run through the center like this. And then if you lift this edge and you work it with your fingers, you're going to really reduce your chances of trapping air bubbles and get a nice professional look. And don't be afraid if you get a little bubble, just to peel it back, lift that edge, and then work it out. Just like that, super nice. Then we'll grab this edge, we lift it back up as it laid itself down on there while we were doing the other side. And then start from the center, work your way out. Lift your cable out of the way and then just tuck it around the corner. Very nice. So again, we just want to set her up and kind of use your mounting holes as reference points. That'll keep everything looking nice and centered. And work your way out. Perfect. Now I'm going to start on the rear fender, and I just wanted to go through a tip. Every graphic kit's a little different in its coloring, and when you get a lighter, more translucent color, even though your fingers are clean, you wash them, it's really easy to transfer a fingerprint underneath. So I'm going to show you a little trick that I use to keep my fingerprints off while I'm lining up my graphics. Tear a piece of the unused backing, and I can grab the graphic wherever it's solid, but wherever it's very light colored, I'm going to use that so I can grab it front and back and not leave a print on it. So now just line your graphic up, eyeball it as best you can, and get a reference point for any corners that is going to make it easier to keep it center. Line it up on the back. I'll start there first to get my reference point. Not happy with that, so just pull it off. Put the point in the corner, there we go. So now I'm just going to line it up as I go forward. And just like on the front number plate, press in the center, and let's work our way to the edges, one side at a time. And if you're feeling like you've got any trapped bubbles, just take your piece, slip it underneath so that you can lift it up easily and not print it. And just work those bubbles out. Okay, now we're going to go to the other side. I'm going to just slide that in, lift it up. I'm going to grab one more piece here. And I can pull my graphic up just so I know I've got no trapped air bubbles, and I'm going to work my way to the outside. There's one there, so I'll lift it a little higher. There we go. Just work it down nice and smooth. Okay, so now I'm going to show you on this edge here. I just want to apply a light little bit of heat as I take it over the edge, just to allow the graphic to settle over the edges and relax without pleating it. So just at low heat and far away, you'll see it won't take much. As soon as the heat starts hitting it, it starts to fall into place. And then I just want to work those pieces up with my finger. Like that, pushing it to the edge a little bit at a time, and then work that corner right there. Push it in real tight, and just hit it with a little heat. Okay, so we're going to move on to the front fender. The fender tip on these can sometimes be a little fun to put on, so just take your time and just line this up. I usually like to start at the point of the fender, get it centered, and then come back and eyeball right along the fender so that it's even on both sides. Happy with that, so then I'll push in the center, and we're always working out to the edges. Okay. So we just want to line this up with the outer edge, and then run that back just like that. That's it. Come up, did I? Okay, so I'm going to start with the fork guards. The fork guards are a little tricky just because it's hard to get it lined up all the way around. So I really more worry about just the outside edge, lining it up, and then wrapping to the inside. So line your guard up just so that everything looks nice and straight. We do have some reference points on here to use, and then straight up the center. And then let's work our way to the outside edge of the fork guard here. Okay, so on a couple of the trickier panels, I cut the backing close to the decal itself, and then try and line it up, just to kind of get an idea where your placement's going to be, and that way you're going to know whether you need to maybe lift a panel to get a good fit. This one works good just the way it is, so let's apply it and see how we do. So sometimes you'll find with aftermarket plastics they don't line up quite like the factory, so we're just going to go in, do a quick trim. If you do a nice smooth clean job, it's going to look nice and tight, and you won't end up with an overhanging edge that dirt can get under, and then you end up with your graphics lifting. Okay, so now we're going to work our way up on this number plate. We've got a crease that runs right along up here. So we've got our graphic pretty much lined up. So what we want to do is start on the high edge, and then we'll work our way in to the crease. And if the graphic is feeling a little bit too tight, you definitely want to pull it back and relax it into the crease. Otherwise, we might end up with it, once it gets hot, peeling up and letting dirt in. So pull it back and then work it down into the crease, and then let it naturally come up onto the plastic, just like that. So it's good on some of the shroud graphics. Because of the length of them, it's tricky to set them down in one shot. So a good thing to do is to take half the backing off, leave the other half of the backing on, so it makes it easier to place the front and then work your way back. So now I can just work on getting my front lined up where it's supposed to be, and work my way back to your bolt hole, line that up. That's a nice fit there. And we'll just work that down again from the center to the center, and work your way out on that. Now that we've got the front done, let's remove the backing from the second section, and now let's work our way to the back of the shroud. Okay, so now I'm just gonna install any of the pieces that I've moved just to make the install quicker. Okay, so now that you've finished installing your Ride Industries graphic kit, you are ready to go out and ride.